Oh, well, I think right now probably Elon Musk.
Why?
I don't know. I think he's just building some pretty cool stuff. He's a super intelligent bloke, and he seems like relatively normal.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. We just we had an issue there for all of our YouTube listeners and all of our online streamers. They couldn't hear us for the first 5 minutes due to a audio card
Have
failure.
to do it again.
Which
It's not like we're saying anything relevant anyway.
but I do believe that we're all fixed now.
All right.
And but everybody on the radio heard us. But
All right.
people on YouTube were like, "What are they talking about?" So yeah, let's continue. So apologies about that. We won't have that happen again.
Yeah, sorry for that. And then let's dive directly into you guys.
Yeah.
Come up with your 60-second pitch about what are you doing at the moment.
Go on, Vito. You go first, mate.
All right. So what I do or what my company does, I'll do 30 seconds each. So my company builds data sets to power the training of the ChatGPT that can speak, that can talk. So right now we just text with ChatGPT. Let's have it talk. And what I do is, well, I guess I have to kind of rush the code all over the place to move our data sets, move our files. It's not like something that the common person will understand, but yeah, I'm shifting around a few terabytes of audios for our data sets and our clients.
Good, Tom.
Nice.
60 seconds. Let's go.
Yeah. So what do? I don't know. Maybe I'm a relationship guy. Yeah. It's a good question. I mean, I'm definitely not technical, so I think maybe I'll build some of the operations and processes to smoothing out some stuff. Building and scaling teams or whatever, I can do that relatively well. But yeah, my background is sort of tech and business. I don't really know anything other than that. So yeah.
So if you, we have a lot of listeners that might not be very knowledged about AI. Can you tell me, like, what is your company doing? Just in a few easy sentences.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you have to start, Tom.
All right. So what do we do in a few sentences? So, all right, here's a use case. So call centers, they have agents that are in the Philippines, for example, India, South Africa, around the world. They typically have accents that are not native English. So they have an accent, right? Generally, let's go to America. They can't typically understand the accent very well, or they will discriminate against the accent. What we do is we build data sets to train artificial intelligence to, in real time, transfer that accent into a local accent. So an American will answer the phone and hear an American accent as opposed to Filipino and Indian or whatever. And Vito can get more technical. Sure.
First, does that make sense to you guys?
For me, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. But
yeah, I mean, in short, AI, what everybody calls AI, needs data to be trained to be AI. Without data, you don't have AI. And what we do is we prepare the data. We prepare the fuel that will get AI up and going,
so you are
essentially.
the ones responsible for the Terminator movie, preparing the machines.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I was born yet back then, but yeah, we can put it that way.
Yeah, there's three things that take AI to be a product. It's an algorithm, it's compute power, and then it's data. And we are the data side of things. So without what we do, you wouldn't have artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And the better the data, the better the artificial intelligence. So that's basically what we do. We specialize in high quality
So you basically
data.
specialize in making your AI more efficient and more more. You feed it what it needs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Let's first take a step back
Yeah.
before we dive
Let's get the
into. Yes.
We were skipping forward a little bit there.
So, is there anything what you maybe seen across the world that you didn't see in the Philippines that you thought like, oh, we need to have this in the Philippines?
Yeah, like a blank space. Did you see something that was like, oh,
I like that question.
Something that I've seen elsewhere in the world
there are something that you miss here, or that you think like, oh, this is should be really be here in the Philippines?
It will
Oh.
work.
Maybe like fish and chip shop.
Hey, I was going to say like a kebab shop, you know?
Yeah.
We said that last week.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're going to have to do one.
Yeah, you should start one.
Watch this space, guys.
Now, guys, I'm a nerd. Are there book clubs in the Philippines? I have not searched.
I
But-
think in general there are not a lot of clubs here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Book clubs.
I mean, that's something I would do in Switzerland, but here.
I think if you search, though.
Yeah, it could be that. I mean, maybe there are. I'm just.
niche.
Yeah, probably niche.
So send Vito a DM, and he is happy to
Yeah.
go to your book club.
Let's
But
go.
anything in tech that you see, like
Oh.
what kind of tech do you see across the world, or maybe you think like, oh, this is something that we really miss here in the Philippines?
Mm.
Well, actually, I would almost say the opposite. Like, there are things that I don't have elsewhere, like having a motorcycle and having a motorcycle pick you up at any time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
That's a good tech. Otherwise, I mean, in China, they have an amazing way of ordering food. When you're at the restaurant, you scan the QR code like you do here for the menu, but then you enter your table number and they will know where the food has to go without even asking. So you just book when you're sitting, and I wish that was also here.
Cool. I think the world's going to gain a few calories soon. You know? It's just not going to move when they come.
I
to
mean,
the
on me,
restaurant.
it's not working, huh?
There was one restaurant I know that was like, we'll give you 50% discount if you don't bring your phone in with you. Because you know, you're not talking and you're not
Yeah,
wasting your
yeah.
time taking pictures.
Yeah.
You know, you get more people in and out.
I went to a restaurant in Berlin once, and it was run by blind people,
Oh,
and they turned the lights off. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face,
Oh.
but blind people served you food, and it's so weird. But that would be interesting to see. Well, you get like the blind people that do the massages, don't
oh
you?
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
they could do a restaurant.
Mm.
I mean, it's not tech.
Dining in the dark.
Yeah.
Dining in the dark, I think your senses will, your taste will be.
You hear
Sense.
everything, mate. It's quite strange.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you come out looking like a mess. Don't wear a white t-shirt.
Yeah. I couldn't put it in my mouth.
So what about you guys? What is taking up most of your time at the moment?
This. The AI does.
Yeah. I recently just stepped down my previous job, actually, less than 3 weeks ago, and I've been working every day from dusk till dawn. So
So you
Data,
took the
yeah.
risk to stop your job and now fully focus on this.
well, but I don't know. Is it a risk? It's all upside, so there's no.
I mean, for some people it's a risk.
Yeah, of
like
course.
you
Yeah.
stop an income, for example.
Of course, yeah. So I said, yeah, for me this makes sense. I think I have a lot to learn, so I will just do it.
Why does it make sense?
Well, because I see a lot of potential. I see that we are going to have a big change in this technology, and a lot of actual economic tangible value will be created. So I think there's space for everyone. There's a lot of space for everyone. So that's why I say I don't think there is a lot of risk, but I'm also an optimist. So
I mean, you already explained a little bit what your startup is
Yeah.
doing, and for some people that can be still a little bit vague.
yeah.
So for who are you building something, and what are you solving for them?
Who are we building for?
Yeah.
So typically developers, software developers, native AI companies that are maybe too technical for anyone not technical, but people that are training a language model. So they need to be able to manipulate that sort of data side of things. Because you've got native AI, and then you've got like connectors. So like you build on top of using different AI products. We are helping the native people that are building it sort of from scratch or using a model and changing things internally.
So tell me something very practical that you're solving.
Accent. So if you can imagine like the discrimination that happens when people answer the phone to, for example, an Indian, you just lose trust in the call. Call centers will have this augmentation of AI soon where anyone around the world that can speak English and
That's
can
scary,
comprehend,
Yeah.
English and have a conversation that has a really thick accent they can be employed by it. So it's improving like accents. So it opens the world to that, and it improves that discrimination. It's quite
Make it
mad.
more difficult for us to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're not going to know where people are calling from these days, but it's
That's crazy,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
why do you need to figure out? Like, as long as you get good service,
job done, yeah.
Well, as long as you provide this paper, the
Yeah.
rest you don't have to worry about. The world will be a different place.
Yeah. So how did you came into this space? Like, how do you got into AI? I mean, AI is for the past 1-2 years, everyone is like bombarded with it, but I think you guys already were in that space. Like, how did you got into this AI?
Yeah, I'll start. I have my personal story, and then I think Tom can pick it up for data AI. Actually, I mean, I am trained as a student to know about AI because I had my university degree.
How old
Teach
are
me.
you again?
Oh, I'm 26. I recently graduated a master's degree in data science, which is quote unquote AI. So I studied AI in school, and we did not call it AI. We just called it good old machine learning or data science. It's the machines that are learning from the data. And yeah, I've just been loving computers, and that's how I got close to AI. But then Tom actually has the origin story of data AI.
Yeah, it's I sort of fell upon data sales, and just made like a quick buck from selling some data, right? And then we got another like small sale, and then sort of realized that there could be something in this, but it's I didn't really know what I was doing. And then I ended up doing a talk at one of these events in the city for like entrepreneurs and stuff, and Vito was there. And we caught up after the event, and we were speaking, and he's saying he's a data scientist, and this is around the same sort of time when I'm like figuring out the people I've been speaking to, they're data scientists and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, all right, so this is pretty cool. Tell Vito was interesting dude, and he said that he wants to start a startup, and then end up leaving. I think it was the next day, thinking, and then I think I called him literally the next day, and then we went for a coffee and said, mate, this is, I'm partially doing this sort of thing. I think there's something in on it. And Vito sort of didn't really even hesitate. It didn't really go away and say, I'm going to need to think about this. It sounded like a good idea to him at the start. And then that's when we started to really put things together and improve the product that we have. And it's turned into something a lot more commercial now. And yeah, it's a lot of the work that Vito's brought into the fold.
Specific voice is because of your background, right? Or
yeah, so I've got a recruitment platform here that connects job seekers with like call center employers or BPOs, and we have a lot of data on there, which is Filipinos speaking in English doing an introductory video, and that's where the accent thing come from, and so that's basically where it got repurposed from.
Wow.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
how-
this was beginning of the year, huh? So we started
Started in January.
2025, yeah.
So and how smoothly is it going at the moment?
Well, I mean,
Smoothly.
yeah, I would say yeah.
Yes.
As a relationship, it's going very smoothly. As a company, I think we're also doing great. I mean, we feel that our clients find value and they keep pulling. So I would call that smooth.
So why do you think that you two work good together?
Because reasonable people take reasonable decisions.
That's it.
I love that. We just sort of, I don't know. I don't know. We are. Vito is very technical. I'm slightly technical, but not enough to really know. And I think in our abilities, we have sort of trust in each other on what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, if Vito was to say something, his technical abilities outweigh mine. So I completely trust that. And we've actually entered a lot of this. Even in the early days, I think you trust me, so I'm going to trust you with like all of this sort of stuff. And and it's just been a very trustworthy relationship since the start. And I think that's super important with any co-founder. And it's so I think that's it. And we're actually both very keen to build this problem, and it's or build this company. So I think that also pays dividends as well.
I mean, the focus of a good co-founder is very important on a successful startup. Why do you think that you need to have a co-founder? What is the importance of having somebody next to you that could help you?
Well, you don't know what you don't know, and it's like I don't know what's the saying. It's if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Wow,
And it's
that's
like,
powerful.
yeah, man, yeah,
That's nice.
yeah. It's and I've had other co-founders in the past, and it didn't work out because either one person wasn't committed or we weren't really pulling the same sort of stuff together, and it was kind of difficult. So I think like because I'm not super technical, but Vito is, he brings that into the fold.
The element, yeah.
And I can't. Some of the stuff Vito has brought in, like we're developing these like internal tools, and if you gave me that task to do, there's no way I'd be able to do it. But then it's not only that, but if you ask Vito about like what is that, like why are we doing that, how does that work, he'll be able to tell you perfectly, and it just it makes sense. So
It
it's
also helps you to learn, doesn't it?
absolutely, yeah. I've learned loads, and
And I'm
it's
sure
like,
there's some things that Vito doesn't know.
yeah.
as well.
Oh,
yeah.
of course. I mean, I tried doing this alone last year. That's when I met Piotr. I was looking for a co-founder as soon as I landed in the Philippines in July 2024, and it just didn't work. Like, you can't do everything. You can't know everything.
Yeah.
So
We will die not knowing everything
well,
in this world, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're forever learning.
I mean,
you know?
yeah, I can think about yesterday when I spent just too much time
Unless
trying
you
to learn.
plug your head into our AI and you just learn everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it
Get the
looks-
Neuralinks.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it'll
It's
be
coming
alright.
soon. It looks like. No, but you really need to find somebody that really they got you on your blind spots, and I feel like that's what we're doing with each other. We have I think a great complementary relationship between us building data AI.
So it's like a relationship.
Yeah. But of course, like
We've been out for dinners.
Yeah.
How about the fights?
No, not dinners. I don't eat dinner, Tom.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
How about the fights? You already got some fights.
No, I don't think we have.
No. But fighting is pointless. Like, why
Yeah.
do you need to fight?
I mean, you need to make decisions about where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You compromise quite quickly.
No, we
Oh, I
haven't
could feel
really.
the first fight coming up right now.
Yeah,
actually.
right.
But you remember when you said that to me? No, what was there? There was something happened. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It was at the start. It wasn't an argument, but it was I messed up by it was saying we were talking about equity. And I definitely said the wrong thing, and because I approached Vito about this idea, I said we hadn't really discussed anything, but I said 60-40, and and then we're speaking about it, and I thought, oh my god, I've said the wrong thing there, and it's like if you look at what we were both going to bring together, that it was like, yeah,
Sorry, I was a bit
late. Yeah, so that was the only thing that I remember when there was a little bit of friction,
Yeah.
but then we sorted it out, and it was like, yeah, and it was
I would almost not even. It wasn't a fight.
no, it wasn't a fight. It was,
Yeah, I just said, Tom, like, why would you say this? And you
Yeah.
figure out why. It's me genuinely asking why, and he gives me a genuine answer, and
Yeah.
that just works. That's why I say I think reasonable people are just gonna figure things out. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also sitting here because I'm the founder of Stellar PH. We're a startup enabler, and what we say is try to figure out things as quick as possible. Like especially these kind of things. Like if we set up a company together, how we're going to deal with equity. But yeah, find a co-founder that is making your company better. And like you guys said, it's a relationship, and sometimes you have a fight.
Yeah.
We still didn't fight, but we're doing good, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like a perfect relationship. There's no such thing, In every relationship, you build and you have an argument and you build to be better, and then you learn a lot more.
Yeah.
Because if you don't argue and you don't have these issues, you're not gonna find anything to overcome, and you're just gonna be like living in a dream world, which isn't in existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the opposite. Like, but I feel like this is something that I really learned living with other people, just sharing housing. You just bring things up fast, and people
fast. Yeah.
People are gonna solve it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like what I like about Vito and myself, like why we maybe get along quite well as well. Is that we're both quite well travelled. You know, we've both lived in multiple different countries and stuff, and it's like I think to be able to do that, you need to be a reasonable person and get along with people and want to figure things out.
Of course, yeah.
So I think that's super important. I think actually a lot of VCs will actually look for like a founder that has travelled. Not saying that's the main thing, but it's not the main thing. But I read somewhere, or maybe it was on a podcast or something like that, that is like if they have like experienced different cultures and stuff, it makes them more investable. But Pietro, you'll be able to.
You just heard it in this this radio show. So
is that what you said? Is it? Oh no, right. I see. I thought you said it last week.
Did we?
Let's get a little bit more into AI. Let's say pick your brain. It's still, you two guys are in a bubble and you're working with this every day. But we need to explain a little bit more why AI is so important at the moment. Also because I think still people think it's a hype, right? They go to ChatGPT and they use it as a new Google. Why is AI so important at this moment, and why do we need to, maybe as a startup founder, at least think about AI and the impact on different companies?
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to think that it is hype, but yeah, let's be balanced about it. Let's see what it.
Well, it's simple, isn't it? Name one thing that AI can't do. It's impossible to think of. I mean, I think.
No, there's so many things. When you build with AI every day, you realize how shit it is at doing many things.
Yeah.
So
better late than never.
Yeah, no, I think there are many things I can do much better. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be trying to build
Evolution.
a fuel to make it better. But yeah, it's gonna make a difference in for example, in my day, it makes a difference by finding information faster. Let's say I have five files. Those 5 files contains 5 pages each. I just throw them all in there and I ask things, and the information just comes to me much faster. So I can get to an answer faster. And if that answer is gonna get me to my client faster, then I have a product that is built faster. And so that's just one example.
So for the people that say like, oh, I also see, or I'm scared for it. Let's say it like that. Especially because in the field that you guys are in is like voice. It can also be scary for someone to say like, okay, what is going to happen?
It's funny. We was actually sort of discussing this yesterday, weren't we? It's about different people's opinions on, AI for good, or like AI, what people's opinions are basically on it. But I mean, it's the question on where do I think it's going? Do I think it's dangerous? I mean, I think there needs to be areas where it's looked after, but I don't know. I mean, there's some stuff that's recently come out about the American people saying that they're going to remove the restrictions on safety and stuff. I think that may be a little bit silly to a certain extent. I don't know what degree they're going to remove them for, but it depends on what hands it gets into. I don't know, Vito, you probably got a better opinion on this.
It's sticky topics. If it's gonna be, I think we have to be careful with any technology. We're gonna have a lot more power. I mean, individuals can do a lot more. So yeah, let's keep a critical eye on it. But of course, every one of us can benefit a lot. It can go very wrong. We should keep that in mind. But yeah,
I think keep that in mind. But aren't we the ones feeding it the data? So,
well, I think for it going very wrong, we are a bit in the periphery. I think if it's gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong in labs or in data centers that we have no knowledge about. So very far from us. So we have little control. But for us, it can be super useful. Like, do you guys use AI?
Yes, yes, I do. But
Actually, my I do also, but like it's for my wife. My wife normally uses it to help find answers, to help my kids and stuff. And I actually use it to write SEO articles because I don't pay anyone anymore in Fiverr. And I guess I don't use it daily. I can't.
But I mean, like, what is using AI? That's also what I said. Like, everyone can use ChatGPTs for free. You can, write whole articles or whatever. But like, I think AI goes a step forward. That's also what you guys are doing. You're collecting a lot of data, and the data can be used for a purpose. You guys have a purpose for that, but you can also use it for a million other purposes. Are you aware of like what you're building and what is the power of having so much data, for example?
So it is true. You can build so many different things. You can use that data for profiling people, identifying them, finding out what they will buy from you and what not. I think we have regulation that is going in the direction of, if you're dealing with data, you have to say what you're doing with it. So,
like a data protection kind of thing.
Exactly. We've been scrutinized. We've been very careful about.
Is there something like that polices it here in your company?
It's recently come out actually. I think about 3 days ago they changed legislation in the Philippines.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm
not sure the proper ins and outs.
I did not know that.
Yeah, some new laws have
That's
just
why
come
it's
out.
good you work as a team.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, man, I missed that one. Sorry.
Have the answers live. Why do you need somebody that compliments you?
But yeah, no, there's definitely new legislation that's come out. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but there's been questions out there like, does it need to be this strict and things?
Yeah.
Like what do we need to put on this sort of thing? No one knows now because it's still too early. Like, it's like, how strict do we need to be? I think America completely taken them away. If that's what they've done, maybe a bit too rash, but enforcing way too many. Like, what was I watching the other day? It was something about 11 Labs and how 11 Labs got big. If you're not familiar with 11 Labs, they also do like voice, like cloning and
voice changing.
Yeah. And basically, they got big from, they had a little chat box on their website. You could go there, you could type a sentence in, and then their little voice agent would read it out. And then basically, an author went there, pasted their whole book in, downloaded it, and back then, like the publishers and all that sort of stuff said it's illegal for the audiobooks to be in AI, read by AI. But this audio was so good that they didn't realize it was done by AI, it was done by humans. But I suppose what I'm going back to is that, that they were putting a wall up against like the advancement of AI, even though it's something for good. Again, it's like a job killer because there's not anyone to read the AI the books or whatever. But it's just another example of like.
Yeah, because if you've got a book that is copyrighted and paid to read, and you put it into AI, the AI's got to learn it, so it's already a soft copy. So I guess you've already broken some law somewhere there. I guess.
Well, I think now we're getting into the territory of, no, you're not breaking laws. Just like a human that does not break any copyright law by learning from books, an AI does not break any laws by learning from properly purchased books.
There was
they class that AI as like a human.
Well, I don't know. I did not read into the case, but this is Anthropic. This is very recent. I think it's from not even last month, but in the US.
They won the court case.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they won a court case. I mean, they lost on one side. They pirated all the books, and that's why, or at least part of some damages I think they had to pay. But there was no problem with training the AI on the books because it's just how, or at least that's how the court interpreted it. The AI is learning just how you learn from reading your book.
So for example, say like we have AI now that like learns how to make music. Say it like you asked AI to make an AI generated song, and then somewhere, someone out there has already made that song. Could they sue? Did they say like the AI could sue? Like, for example, it was an AI generated track, but someone out there in like the smallest little island so happened to have
yeah.
released a song with the same melody. Would that be like a pointless court case because you're going against a computer generated, or would you go against the person who programmed it?
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to say.
Oh my gosh.
no one knows, you know.
Who are we gonna sue?
Yeah.
It would just be an ongoing case.
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
As much as AI is there, it's gonna have create so many loopholes, I guess.
Mm-mm.
Hey guys, just like we try to also inspire Filipinos, of course, and we're in a room with 4 no Filipinos. Why are you here? Like, what are you doing here in Cebu, and why are you starting?
Tell all of our listeners that are tuning in right now, 105.1 TMC. If you just tuned in, by the way, guys, we are on the Stella Spark Show, episode 2, and if you want to come in and engage with us, please do on our social medias. Let us know. You know why are you here in Cebu?
Yeah, I did not even know about Cebu. I think 14 months ago, and then I was thrown here. But I actually graduated. I did my thesis here in Cebu, also in AI, and I found the company that hosted me, Kima. Shout out to them. They gave me a very cool experience. They have an office here, and I was like, yeah, let's go, let's explore. It's not my first time living abroad, and so I just embraced and jumped into it. And then I've always been looking for an idea. I think building products for real people is super inspiring. So I just said, okay, I think it's time to go to the next step, and the next step is still here in the Philippines. What about you, Tom?
Wow.
Why are you here?
First of all, Bistak ko. Gamilang Bisaya.
Gamilang Bisaya. Oh wow.
No. So I originally come here right about 2 weeks before COVID to start a call center. Previously, I've had a few companies over the years, and we've always outsourced things, and we outsourced stuff to the Philippines. And I was looking for the next thing to do when I was in Sri Lanka, and started looking at different options, and we decided to start an outsourcing company. So flew there from Sri Lanka to Cebu. We picked Cebu over Manila because it's less busy, and Cebu's sort of the next metropolitan area coming up and coming. So sort of based down, and fell in love with the Philippines and Cebu in particular, and I've sort of been here pretty much since.
So BPOs, there's a lot of BPOs around here in the Philippines, but building a startup is a different kind of thing, right? How is it to build a startup in the Philippines?
Compared to building a startup in anywhere else, which I have not done.
I mean,
from experience, how the process, was it smooth sailing, or was you found it difficult to source these things?
Yes, it's I mean, in comparison to setting up and building a company in the UK, it's definitely easier in terms of restrictions. That you can get stuff done a lot easier and faster here in the Philippines. The people to work with, much easier to work with.
You feel that kind of like they want to learn.
And it's
or they already know it, or they want to change.
No, they want an opportunity. They want stability, and they're very it's world renowned that Filipinos are super hard workers, and it's not a lie. It's like they're great people to work with. They're super hard workers, and they're just genuinely proper nice people. And I think that's why I like it so much here. Of course it's my business, and that's what I come here for is for business, but fell in love with the place and the people and stuff. So sorry to answer the question. What's the difference in it? I'll definitely say it's easier. I mean, it's have you got a follow-up question?
I think it's easier because there is a lot of process, a lot of opportunity. And like you said, you're right, there is a lot of people here that are wanting a better future. And I don't want to answer your question because I've already answered this question to why I'm here. And I think we've already spoke about the opportunities. For people.
No, we we hopefully we have listeners and
Yeah.
we want to inspire them. And you see a lot of times that in the Philippines, they find it difficult to take the step to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Again, as LRPH, we try to create an environment where you can live an entrepreneurial life in the Philippines, and that sometimes is difficult. So how you see that? Is it difficult in the Philippines to actually build a startup? And what kind of person do you need to be to take that step?
Well, I mean, first of all, I've never seen such resourcefulness out of like a population. Like through COVID and stuff, obviously loads of people lost jobs.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many like little businesses pop up on Facebook Marketplace, and it still is now. And people are just like selling little things and stuff. So I don't know. I don't think it's super scarce in terms of people trying to get started, but it also depends on your start point. You know, it's like, you know, what things like Stellar and stuff is great because they can help people with, you know, a big issue that's here in the Philippines. It's money, you know, trying to get started with stuff. It's you know, you can get started like for very little money, but you know, it does help to have a little bit of a kickstart. And, you know, it's, yeah, so, but I think the biggest thing for anyone is to start somewhere and start doing it. Build your connections, build your network, you know, meet people, and it's amazing. The next person that you meet could introduce you to someone like your co-founder, or, you know, someone that can help you do something and get to the next level, you know.
That next hurdle.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah. If the question was, what do you need to do, or what do you need to be? I think just do things, just be active and try things out. You'll stumble into things. You'll stumble into problems that people have, problems that they want to get rid of, and if you can get rid of a problem for somebody, who knows that the next person has the same problem, and you can get rid of that. So I think that applies everywhere, not just in the Philippines. The mindset maybe is what is important. Just try to solve problems, and don't be scared about it.
Yeah, because otherwise you'll spend the rest of your life wondering what if and what if I had done that.
So what kind of personality do you guys have that make you into an entrepreneur?
well, I mean, I'll pretty much speak to anyone, and I'll try most things. I'm not really worried about the risk side of things, and yeah, I'm not really bothered about giving things a try, and I think that's important. I'm probably, what's the word? What is it when you like got people that are like more quiet?
You're not an introvert.
Introvert, yeah, I'm extroverted. So, well, I'm a little bit introverted, but I'm extroverted. So, you know, I'll definitely be able to go and speak to people and stuff. So it's yeah, I think that's probably one of my assets, is being able to chat to anyone really.
That's how we met.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Yeah,
just come up and straight away boom into the conversation. That's it. 3 days later, it's up here in the studio.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I would say optimism and and agency. So I guess optimism is needed if you just want to take the risk. At the end of the day, building something, it has a very high chance of failure. So you kind of need to, in some way, lie to your brain that it's going to work, or that you're going to be that 1 out of 10 that's going to make it. So you need to be an optimist.
Yeah.
And agency is just do things, try to solve, even if nobody asked you to. Try to go that one step further, even if nobody cares, and who knows that something is going to come out of it.
I think curiosity as well.
Yeah.
You know, trying to, like, you're curious about things, you know, it's, how does that work? You know, I wonder. And then trying to, you know, trying to figure it out yourself.
Yeah, I think it's being curious, but also be outspoken about it, because you know, I think a lot of people are curious, but if you never say it to anyone, like, you know, I think that's also one of the things in the Philippines that you see, is that people are not outspoken about their dreams, or they're curious about stuff. They don't ask questions, right?
Yeah. I would agree. Yeah, I would agree.
Just to come back, like a little bit of pinching. so you're building something, right? And AI is a very busy space. Why do you think that your startup is gonna survive against the big tech companies across the world? Like, why is your company here still in 5 years?
$1
for example?
million secret. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, we believe in like making a quality product.
Yeah, but also like your competitor could be Google that announced next week we have a big voice AI
No, I
coming
would
up.
I would disagree. I would disagree that Google is our competitor. We are at a different level in the supply chain. Google is our client. I think we provide the fuel for Google, so we're kind of the.
Do you use Google to help you in some scenarios?
Massively. We are.
That's our
So you
third
can kind
co-founder.
of say like Google is your other
We use
business partner in the.
we use Google
Mm.
in along so many axes. We're a Google startup actually.
Mhm.
We have everything on the Google Cloud. They support us. They support us with credit. With we met them at GoHub, the Geeks on a Beach last year, and it's not only the search and answer.
You met
It's
them on a beach, did you say?
Geeks on a Beach.
Geeks
Geeks on a beach.
Yeah,
Are you
Gosh.
familiar? Are you familiar?
No.
it's
Oh, you'll have to come this
Oh,
year.
Yes, please.
it's huge. How come this is an event that has to be talked about? Geeks on a Beach is where the tech people, where the startups people go in the Philippines. This year is going to happen in October. Is that
Yeah,
is that
first 3 days of October.
right? Yeah.
It's MacTan again. It's Salute.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they didn't officially announce it, but yeah.
Oh, in it.
Yeah.
I'm there. Bring
Yeah.
me. Sorry. Anyway, back to the.
Yeah, no, back to Google. So I think we don't suffer that many side effects of massive tech companies building products that are gonna kill 100 AI startups, because we are kind of at a different level of the supply chain in some way. Like we kind of power those products that then kill everybody else.
It's so difficult to find that out, though. It really is. I mean, like, it's the same with Amazon. I know this is unrelated, but when I used to do selling on Amazon, it's like if our products were doing well, Amazon would come along and just start selling that product themselves.
Yeah.
And there's no way that we can, for example, like I know an AI company heavily relies off Google to power its back end
Yeah.
and to power its APIs and whatever. But I think what the focus is building yourself as a, like you said, on a different level to what is competitive, delivering a product and delivering a service that people need and proving it works and then succeeding and moving on from there. I think it's something where you're ever learning, you're ever improving, and you're doing all the work for someone who would just be like, why do we need to do that? Because it's already being done. We can just maybe team up in the future. That's probably how I see it. Very
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah, yeah.
to see.
So with all the experience that
Unless
you
Piotr comes along and starts doing something.
no, I'm not smart enough. Sorry. So looking back, like you're at a certain stage in your startup, but also just in general, if you need to advise your younger self, what would you tell? Like what would you do differently?
You want to go first?
To my younger
You're
self.
still young.
I think 26 is also you're getting you're closer to 30
Yeah.
than the 20. So
Yeah. Oof. No, I think my younger self did pretty well. I would have a hard time giving better advice. I mean, he smashed his ass, learned to work hard. And I think the outcome is something I'm pretty satisfied with. So yeah, do the same thing, boy.
Nice.
you Tom, because you're a little bit older, so
Yeah. Wow, only 4 years. All right. I look old. Yeah, no. For me, it would be, and it's the same thing now. It's like not give up. It would be like keep going and not to be concerned as much as you were about results and like getting where you want to go. I think sometimes it's like yeah, you want to quit. Some people will. I'd say don't keep going. You're probably way closer than you can imagine to where you want to go.
Is there like a decision in your life that changed? Like, okay, I made that decision.
Yeah,
That's why I'm here right now.
yeah. It's when I worked for someone, and I hated it. And then, and that's when I realised I did my first business, made some money, and realised that I didn't need to work for someone again. And then that's when it ticked in my head that I could just be my own boss, not work for anyone again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, it's not easy, right?
What's that like?
There's a cliche about saying, "Oh, I don't want to work 9 to 5 for a boss,"
100%.
but then you become an entrepreneur and then you work
Yep.
24/7.
Exactly. But for me, it's the freedom to be able to make your own decisions and do what you want. I mean, if I worked for someone working a 9 to 5
Yeah,
in the
that
UK,
Yeah.
yeah, there is certainly no way I'd be here in the Philippines. I want to work from home or I want to work remote. Yeah, you can, but you need to work from your home in the UK. It's like you're so limited, and someone is your boss. Someone's telling you
Psychological too.
what to do. Yeah, and it's just for me, it's just like
So why would I want to go back to a 9 to 5 when I've already achieved so much?
I don't know. It's just
It's not the same.
yeah, it's not,
Mm.
and I think you need you need to be able to deal with the stress because there's way more.
Yeah.
I think that as well helps you to become a more open-minded and more,
Right.
I think the real defense of not wanting to go back to that is what makes you more open and more, you're like always changing. I get the words like, "Oh my gosh, Koya," like even though times are tough for you, you always find something else to
Yeah.
do and to build.
yeah.
And I guess that is really, if I take away all the onion rings and all of the layers, that's really what it is. I just don't want to go back to that
I think though,
job.
I do wholeheartedly believe in what we're saying here. But
Yeah.
if there was some more advice I would give to my younger self, it would be to go and work for some more people because
to learn.
to learn, man. Like literally, it was a long road for me to be an entrepreneur because I had to learn everything from a young age and make a load of mistakes with my own businesses, nearly fail with all of them and stuff. But they were expensive mistakes. Whereas I think if you can work for a decent company, start up and learn from someone who's a mentor to you or something, you can learn a lot more and you'll probably progress a lot further. So if there is any people in there that are young and they want to,
this
Don't
is
skip
actually
that step, guys.
yeah, this is actually the advice you gave me.
Yeah.
So you said, "Oh, Vito, but don't you want to stay?
Don't skip the step.
Don't you want to stay in there and learn a little bit more from them?" It's like Tom was speaking to his younger self, and I said, "I don't know. I think I'll quit next month." And here we are.
Oh, it's a topic that we talk. I think every time when we talk about failure and how important it is and how important it is to fail fast. So try to fail as soon as possible. But it's also, you need to push yourself in an uncomfortable situation.
Of course.
And you have two choices, or you just start a company when you're like very young, or you go into a little bit more comfortable situation. You work for a boss where you can make mistakes. But definitely you need to make mistakes, or you need to, fail at a certain moment and learn from
If
them.
I didn't work for my boss, I wouldn't be here. I'd probably still be selling. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad job, but I mean, I would still be selling mobile phones.
Yeah, but the discussion I always have is: do you need to have that experience, or can you just fail by yourself?
Well, you got to learn to mop the floor before you can get. That's kind of the thing. I guess it's different for everyone, but I'm not. Don't skip that step, guys.
No,
I think as well, like
Come work for me.
I think like what I've told younger people before, and I said this. I spoke at a university once and said, and I told them this advice is like, throughout your 20s and stuff, try loads of different things, try different industries, and like work for other people. Understand what you like and enjoy, and then in your 30s specialize and nail down on more stuff.
Yeah,
and then the people in the crowd are like, I'm older than 30 and I don't know what to do. I have no answer to that.
Yeah. Wow.
But no, you should still try things though. Yeah, no matter your age.
Yeah, I still think it's possible to skip that first step. I mean, it's
Well,
not.
maybe you could even ask AI.
But the
Teach me the ways to skip the steps of mopping the floor. Ding-a-ding.
You have bad
I
answers.
agree. The only thing is that you need to find people and support them, mentors.
course.
I think that's the most important thing. Is that
You also need to get scarred. I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say scarred, but you need to have a bad experience to better yourself. I don't know if there's anyone that's popped out and hello world, and then I mean, there you go. There's the first line of code that was ever written. Hello world.
Yeah, it's like that. I was an overnight success. It took me 10 years.
Mhm.
Saying it, it's that saying, like, you would have got some war wounds throughout that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Talking about years, where are you guys in 10 years?
Yeah.
Oh, in 10 years. Well, unclear if it's the Philippines.
2035.
Unclear if humanity still exists.
Oi!
That's a very positive,
My God, don't scare the listeners, bro.
positive person.
No, I mean, I mean, we have nuclear weapons, no? So everything can happen. No, I think I'll still be building for sure. I love to build. I love to solve problems. So I don't know if it's gonna be with data AI. I don't know if it's. I told Tom in the future I want to work for the government. I think solving problems in the government can be very cool.
So if we don't see you tomorrow, we know you've been kidnapped by the government.
You're working for them.
I don't know. I don't think they trust me. I don't think
But-
I've solved any problems yet. So
But do you still think that data AI will exist in 10 years? Or in what existence will it be?
Yeah.
it
So
will be massive.
yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, we specialize in speech data, but we're looking at other avenues of what other data we could collect. Another massive industry that people are probably not so aware of now is robotics. That all requires data as well, and it's again, it's the better the data, the better the product and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other avenues like that. We plan to completely scale this into eventually a monster of a data company, and it's definitely there. I mean, it's AI needs data, it needs good data, and
Yeah.
that's what we're planning to sort of build and do.
So what are you looking for right now? You're live online. Like, do you need help? What are you looking for?
Oh,
Are you looking for
I-
partners?
It changes every day.
Piotr, you always ask this question to me. I never know how to answer. You asked me at the Startup Island pitch, and I said I just want time, and now I quit my job, and
You
now
have
I have
time.
time. What do I want? I think I think what we need is probably more clients smashing on our door, which means providing such a great product that they cannot live without us. And I think we're getting there. We just need to keep doing what we're doing. I think we're working properly on a nice product. I think our product is better. It's a good data product. I think we're gonna have many companies very soon coming and saying,
So if there's
Please.
a company now listening, how can they reach you?
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
"Oh, add Tom on LinkedIn." And my LinkedIn is not up to date. My LinkedIn still shows that I work for Kima.
Yeah, so it's data AI. So however you want to say it, DATAI.world. Don't ask us why the URL.
Oh yeah, you can ask us why, and we have an answer. We have to do things fast. We
Yeah.
just pick whichever domain was cheapest.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You will solve it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get us on the website or just contact us on LinkedIn.
Yeah, Tom on LinkedIn. He's
Yeah.
gonna be the fastest.
Tom.
Yeah.
Is that it?
TOM.
Tom.
yeah.
Just Tom.
Tom.
Google Tom. You will find
Faruja.
Really?
Faruja is
Let's go.
Yeah.
Isn't that the guy that's like your first friend on MySpace?
Yeah, he's got the good name.
Yeah. Your
yeah.
first friend. I got a friend. Who is it? It's Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
All right.
me. That was me.
That was wow. And the beautiful thing about this show, Stellar Spark Show. I mean, all of our listeners who are tuning in right now, we're here to interview existing businesses and entrepreneurs, and hopefully you guys who are listening and tuning in right now will be able to learn and understand from their experiences. And our aim and our goal in the show is to better the process and to help others to kind of see the light and see what things they can do to push forward on their next step for their next endeavor.
Yeah, and it's just cool, right? We have two co-founders.
Exactly.
They found each other.
And it's so interesting to hear the stories and
Yeah.
and to know that you haven't argued. I know there's going to be a punch up when we come off air. It's like, you didn't say anything about.
Yeah, if you see me walking down the hill, it's because I'm walking back.
Wow. Well, anyway, I think let's come wrap.
Yeah, amazing, guys. Thanks for coming up
Yeah.
all the way here.
Thanks for having us.
You know, I already said I'm a big fan. Also, want to understand more what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
That's why I always ask, like, how can we help you guys?
Yeah, and if any of you guys are tuning in and you guys really want to reach out to these guys, Vito and Tom, you can just drop a comment down in the comments box, or you can send us all an email at magic@topsmediacenter.com, or you can reach out to them directly. Links will be in the description in this episode.
Yeah.
And we are here every Monday, 7 p.m. without fail, to bring you the latest Stellar Spark show, which is it's our second episode. I know we had an audio issue at the beginning, but hey, it's to be
We're here.
expected. And again, thank you so much, Vito, and thank you so much, Tom, for
Yeah,
joining us today.
Thanks a lot.
Salamat kayo.
Yeah. And for all of our listeners, don't go anywhere, because we are taking you back with our local vocal global. And yes, we haven't played any ads. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the Stellar Spark show. We'll see you all again Monday next week, 7 p.m. Say goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Yo, range in the house, yo.